What's up? It's your boy Carcino, and let's talk about it. This is the Power Season 5, Episode 3 recap. As you can see, Ghost wakes up this morning for getting ready to go to meet with Kanan and Tommy. A police officer comes in with some inaccuracies about the testimony of Tyreek, as he's withheld information that he was out there when Rayna was killed. Meanwhile, back at their headquarters, Ghost, Tommy, and Kanan are working on angles to get to Dre and what they're going to do to the Jimenez. They find out and discover that 50 already has an in on Dre. Meanwhile, the IA agent isn't stupid. She knows Angela is involved in something, because her name keeps popping up everywhere it shouldn't when it comes to this investigation. Angela's like, this is a piece of cake. We got the Jimenez brothers. Let's get the arrest warrants. Let's go, go, go. She just wants to get back to doing her job. But her captain is not really so sure about Angela. She wants to wait before we start pursuing, just running in with warrants. Now that Kanan knows about Tommy's business and who his connect is, he wants in the business. Tommy tells him he got to buy in to get into the business. Well, the Jimenez brother seems to be favoring the guy he can communicate with the most over Dre. So he wanted to promote Cristobal as his number 2, because he believes Cristobal is going to feed him better information, and he doesn't like the way Dre tries to undercut and talks over him, because Dre has lies to protect. And what Dre is learning is how heavy weighs the crown. Being number 1 isn't all what it's cranked up to be. So many personalities you got to manage. And the two stooges are not smart enough to realize that Dre is protecting them by not telling that they did the hit, and that the energy is switching with his two supposedly loyal best friends. Gold's still fuming from that post press conference he had to do that Rashad tricked him into, comes in here and basically single-handedly blows up this investment. And him and Tate they're starting to butt heads more and more. Teresi seems to cut a deal with the FBI because they want Tommy, and Teresi is appearing to be working with them just so he can get out of jail. So whatever Teresi has in store, he's laughing because he said this is part of his plan. He's been planning this all along. Angela once again says that it's an open investigation, so she can't share the information with the IA agent. And the IA agent believes Angela's just trying to cover her tracks, and believes Angela's more involved than what she first realized. In a very powerful performance. These are the parents that when Ghost killed that guy who killed their child, they thought they would feel better. They both do not. The pain still exists, which sends a message to the rest of the world that's watching. Getting revenge does not make you feel better. Overall, it doesn't bring back your child, and the hurt is still there. Angela Valdez and her new bestie, Tanya, once again are thinking of more ways to try to keep covering their tracks as they are on their way trying to cover up a murder. As predicted, Kanan finds his way in, saw that Dre and one of his compadres that he actually knew are having friction, and tells him that Dre was the one that killed his buddy. And that's why he doesn't trust Dre. To bring in distrust, Fifth is good at. Ghost is admitting to Tanya that he had to kill that guy to get it out of his system. He had to do something right. Tanya's telling him, don't do that. That's not going to fix any problems that we have. Back to the irrelevant. Tommy and Lala's character, Keisha, are trying to... Tommy comes to her for a weird guidance and trying to figure out what to do with his father who's getting out of jail and he don't trust it. In the best scene of the movie, or the episode, Kanan and Tasha face off for the first time by themselves, and Kanan is trying to impose his force and will and realize Tasha's crazy. But that's what he loves about her anyway. Dre's worst fears are presented when the Jimenez brother comes in there and makes the new leader of the Jimenez kill the 3 guys saying he didn't do the murder. It's really coming down on Dre in this episode, the stress of it, to the point he's going to have to go overseas to run the international companies and the other nightclubs. Now it's going to come down to the actual crystal ball running the rest of the show from here on out. In the realm of the ridiculous again, Angela literally runs into this man and sleeps with him in one night. And this is what I've been talking about with Power, when they have to rush storylines and plots because they don't have enough episodes. This is an example of one. Every time Proctor thinks he has closure, it only lasts for a couple of seconds as he's right back on the job. They're never letting Proctor go. Kanan robs Cristobal, which opens up the door for more opportunities as he now gets the money he needs to go in and invest with Tommy so he can get in close and possibly get the connect once Ghost and this situation is over with. Ghost tries to seal the deal in total Ghost fashion by using sex to close the deal, but he didn't realize that he was being played. Angela proves she's the easiest woman in television as she falls for this agent in one day and give up the draws, which I don't believe him for 1 second. This guy seems like the type of dirty, shady character that was sitting there probably by the IA agent to try to finesse Angela and get information because she knows Angela has a history of just sleeping with people. They should call her Easy Angela, and she's already on the 3rd guy she done screwed around with since this show has started. In the realm of the ridiculous, girl talk continues, but actually some good information was mentioned by Keisha. She finally forms the good friend and finally tells Tasha what she needs to hear, that she's been lying to Tariq his whole life. So, of course, he's going to be guarded and keeping secrets, which is the first time she has delivered some need-to-know information, something a best friend is supposed to tell her girlfriend. Finally, she's in a useful scene. And everyone's favorite mom is back, Kate, as she is back in the scenes. And this is the first time Tommy has seen her since he told her he don't want nothing to do with her. But Tommy know that's not true. That's his mom. Plus, she needs a fix. And mom comes right in and tells him, look, you're smarter than this. I know that guy, you don't. He wants something from you. You're smarter than this. Every time mom has been right 100%. She was right about that girl. She's right about her. Mom has instincts no matter what people might think of what her vices may be. Tommy mom is always on point. The FBI comes to take all the information from the IA agent's investigation as Angela puts an end to her involvement as of right now because they're doing an investigation and it's an open investigation and she's interfering with it. So she's like, Angela's dirty, and more of this continue more doubts into Angela is going to start to brew, and it's going to create a big fire. Angela figures out that the Jimenez brothers are not the Jimenez brothers. She figures out that they're brother and sister. And that the whole FBI been looking at this all wrong. So hermanos means siblings and not brothers. It could mean brothers, but it didn't. So now the FBI know they're looking at brother and sister operation. And now they have kidnapping a baby on the list where they can go in and take over. At least get a warrant to arrest them while they're in New York. Easy Angela discards her phone for love, which could be a big mistake when dealing with this agent. Angela, for the first time, has a real heart-to-heart with Tariq. Something that needed to happen where he tells her the truth and doesn't feel he needs to be guarded for the first time ever. And this was an important scene because he finally becomes back to being her son instead of the guy who was out of his mind hiding things from his mom as she drops him off at Cho private school, which I could see becoming a disaster down the road as he gets probably kicked out of the school. As Tommy picks up Tony Teresi, his dad, not knowing that his dad is out from working with the feds, Tommy is once again in the middle of it. And you feel bad because it's always Tommy that's got the drama that just he can't see. And it's going to be a mess starting from Tommy on down. But here we go. Well, this is it. Episode 3. Tell me what you think.